Most people think that the MCW is the most broken weapon in MW3 rank play, and they're wrong. The Rival 9 in the right hands can be extremely brutal to play against. Let me start by saying I thought this challenge was going to be super easy, and I was wrong. But not for reasons you'd think, and most times it wasn't the players that I was playing with or against that was my problem. Although I had my fair share of that as well, but you'll see what I mean later in the video.
It's the server problems, and if it's not that, it's because my teammate times out.
Day number 1, we started off by loading into game number 1. I played a few games prior to go from bronze to gold, but it didn't take long at all. But game number 1 in gold, we end up with people leaving and getting a free win, 250 to 0. Leading straight into game number 2, the exact opposite happens of game 1, and my teammate disconnects and we end up losing 0 to 3. In game 4, we actually take a really hard L. Like, I dropped 10 in Search and Destroy just to lose, and I'm sure there was more I could have done better, but man, it hurts when you lose games like that, if you know what I mean. After that, we end up wrapping the day up there. We end up with a 2-2 record for the day, so we literally just go even, so definitely not a great start to the day. Like, I'm feeling pretty low at this point. I'm thinking this challenge isn't going to be possible. Day 2, I'm feeling a lot better. You know, I come in and I'm really excited and amped for the day. We end up starting game number 1 at 2675 SR, and we load into a hard point. We end up winning a really close nail-biting game, 250 to 240, and I only dropped 30. Honestly, the guys were really good for being low elo ranks, and this ended up getting me almost 400 SR though, so I'm still optimistic we're going to be moving pretty quick for these lower ranks until we hit a higher rank. I'm going to start this next game by asking you a question. Have you ever wondered what it's like being a high level player in a low level lobby? I can promise you it's not fun. Most of the time you end up getting reported. So this game I dropped 50 kills, assassinated one of the enemy players, and we beat them by over 100 points. As you might expect, they weren't too happy. Remember how I just got reported? Well, next game we beat the other team 250-18, and they were playing the entire time. It's not even like someone lagged out, we just went off. I did get called hacker here. Sadly, you can't really hear the audio, but they ended up rage reporting me as well. After all of the reports, next game we actually run into a rage cheater. And you're not going to believe what ends up happening to this guy after completely cheating his balls off against us, though. We did get a little suspicious after the rage cheater was in our game. We beat him. He ends up on our team. We win. And then it took a little while for us to find the game. So I started to get a little suspicious, and I checked to see if I was shadow banned. And I did, in fact, not get shadow banned one single day into the challenge. Do you remember those problems that I was running into that weren't players I mentioned at the beginning of the video? Rage cheater, shadow bans, and one other thing coming up later in the video are just to name a few. So we did end up calling day 2 there, and we waited the 7 days for my account to get unbanned. After the 7-day shadow ban left, we started by loading into a game of Karachi Control, and I dropped 40 for the L, but you're not going to believe why.
No, dead ass, bro. I was using so much time, my bad.
Yep, my teammate was eating a sandwich and just didn't play. I know at the beginning of the video I said I didn't have problems with teammates or players most of the time, but this happens to be one of the times that I did. So we loaded into the following game after coming off a shadow ban, plus my teammate eating a sandwich mid-game.
That makes sense to you. He's not that good, bro.
Jeez, bro. I'm never gonna get the diamond at this rate. Did end up winning the SMG 6-4, but right after this game, my teammate disappears. So I did the worst thing you can possibly do in this game. I loaded into a solo queue game, and I immediately got Crimson Lobbies as a plat. The worst part about it, I got called a cheater. Sport Ed, they're gonna spawn here on me. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, I'm cheating. These are Crim players saying I'm cheating, man. GG's. Anyways, we ended up winning the hardpoint game despite being called a cheater in high-level lobbies. So we loaded into our next game at 48-33 SR, and in this game, Someone asked me not to launch their shit. Of course, don't launch my shit, little bro. It's funny because I was the one who got my shit launched. Let's go. My trophy killed him. We ended up losing to some really good diamond smurfs. But then we load into invasion control and we finally do win this win, and this time we get almost 200 SR for the win. I decided after the 2 losses for the day and getting called a cheater in creme lobbies of all things, I would call the day there. Started off day number 4 by playing 1 game off camera, and it led us to finding these 2 randoms to stack with for 1 game. But we did win the SMG 6-1 with them, so I can't complain. Next game, we run into the issue number 3 I was referring to that has been preventing me from going further. That's teammates arguing.
Hey dude, if we lose, it's probably because you're 11 seconds on hill, brother.
We loaded into our next game and my teammates are calling each other.
Hey, dumb fuck, rotate, dumb shit! Fucking idiot!
I ended up telling them to chill, argue after the game. On top of that, we played another Smurf, but he got absolutely smoked since we won 250 to 106. So I'm feeling really good after that. And we're already diamond. I'm really feeling like we can hit Crim, possibly even iridescent before the season ends. We loaded into our next game, 1 off of Diamond. We ended up dropping 35 and hitting Diamond 1 on sub base of all maps. If you don't know, it's easily the hardest map to run a sub, and it was the thing I was fearing the most going into this challenge. So knowing that we hit it, I'm feeling very, very confident now. So I didn't record it, but during day 4, I actually did get shadow banned again off stream. And we immediately hop on the next day after the ban lifts, so another 7 days goes by, and we're in diamond lobbies, the last that I played, meaning people are stacking, so it's going to be harder. So I messaged Elias, a friend of mine, and we ended up queuing together. We ended up winning our first S&D game 6-3 and go up 132 SR, which was a huge start to the day. Then we load into game 2 for day 5, and it's invasion control, and I have a really, really bad game. Easily the worst in this entire series. I'm pretty sure I went down with Neg, and I quickly realized these diamond and crim lobbies, it's going to be really hard to run and sub on these AR heavy maps like invasion or high rise or sub base. So I'm really down in the dumps at this point, thinking, yes, it's over here. This is where the challenge ends. So after that game 2, we end up losing Elias for the day, sadly. So we hit up another friend of mine, Merc. We end up loading into game 1. It was Karachi Control. We lose that game 2-3. That puts our record so far at 15-8. Merc gets offline after that 1 game. I end up solo queuing 1 final game. I end up with high rise control. We end up wiping that team 3-1.
Huh?
I'm guessing I got mass reported again because, you guessed it, another shadow ban. I started this challenge with about 30 days left in the season, got shadow banned for 7 days each, so a combined total of 21 days being shadow banned. I only really got to 25 days because of my other account, coaching sessions, and other things along those lines. So sadly I did not get to hit Erie this season because the fact it was completely out of my control and honestly the system working against me. Rest assured, I'll be doing the same video on my main account next season when the ranks reset, but this time it'll be with the MCW only. I can assure you that that challenge will be completed because that account does not get shadow banned, knock on wood at least. So this video was made not only for entertainment, but also to bring some light to the shadow ban issues and how poorly designed this reporting system actually is. I have this account that I fairly bought the game with, and I played for 5 days out of 30 because of the shadow ban issues, getting banned 21 days out of 30. That's ridiculous, and it needs to be solved. There's got to be a better alternative. I don't know what the solution is. Maybe I can do a video talking about that. Right now my head isn't, thinking about that, but it's frustrating. But
Anyways, if you did enjoy, please drop a like, subscribe, and comment to let me know if I should do more videos like this. With that being said, have a good rest of your day and stay